messing with it yesterday. I had a bunch of downtime after my last load. So I hook up my laptop to the APU. I get the control panel back on, hook my laptop up to it, and I run a test cycle. APU runs fine. I'm like, this is really weird. So I test everything. I run the AC, I run the heater, charge the batteries, everything, fans, I mean the whole 9 yards, everything is working. Okay, this is good news. Maybe it was just a weird thing, but I still called over to the Thermo King shop to say, hey, got this Gremlin, I want to come in and get it checked out just to be on the safe side. Like, yeah, we'll get it, come on in here first thing in the morning, Wednesday, we'll get you in, get you looked at. Okay, no problem. So after I did that, I'm testing the APU, checking things out, and then I let it sit for a little while, and I go into the truck stop I was at and get a shower. And then when I come back, I try to run the APU again. Goes to crank, dies. Okay, but this time the control panel wouldn't come back on immediately. I had to wait a little while for it to come back on. So I get in there this morning, I'm describing the issues. Okay, well here's the thing, I replaced the alternator, that's brand new. But when I was having another issue diagnosed on my APU, the guy got up to go to the control board. He said, but that my load shed resistors were both blown, and he said I can bypass them, and it won't hurt your system. Everything will be fine. The load shed resistors are really an emissions control feature, at least if I remember correctly. I could be misremembering, so please don't take what I'm saying as gospel. Please do your own research. Make sure that you're factually informed, because I'm going off half-remembered conversations at the moment. He said the load shed resistors are there really to give some of that voltage a place to go so that the motor isn't working quite as hard, so you don't emit as much smoke, because APU exhaust right now is still unfiltered, and it likely will be, because the DPF system for that would be just a complete waste of money, considering how little use APUs actually get and how much emissions they actually contribute to the atmosphere, which really is negligible on a per unit basis. But anyway, so he said I can bypass them, it'll just do this, this, and this, and it'll be fine. It's just that you just won't have these resistors, because I would replace them, I don't have the parts, but the resistors are blown, and it's going to be better if you have it bypassed, just so you don't have raw current going into a blown resistor. But yeah, that sounds good, let's go ahead and do that. So we bypassed it, everything was fine. So I'm telling this to the technician this morning, and he says, yeah, you know what, we've seen some of this before. I will check to see how they did the bypass, to see if maybe that's causing a problem, because maybe there's an open connection there, maybe it's causing a short. We'll just check it all out, we'll get into it, but I have what you're describing. I've seen this problem before, and it's usually going to be a couple of different things. It's either going to be this fuse or this component over here. We'll check them all out, see what's what, let you know where we're at. Okay, no problem. I go into the driver's lounge, sit down, finish watching a movie I started last night. Then about an hour and change later, the guy comes back and said, yep, this is what the real problem was, because this was the 200 amp main battery box fuse. It's old, it's worn out, it gave out, it's done. I'm like, oh, all right, so we replaced the fuse, got it running again, and it doesn't seem like there's any problem. It's just that this component was blown, and the reason you were getting function from it is that it was giving you just enough connection intermittently